ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। 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 ॐ ऋतगं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः। ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात्। हरि ओम, सुप्रभातम. A warm welcome to today's session. ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 41 उद्भवः क्षोभणो देवः श्रीगर्भः परमेश्वरः करणं कारणं कर्ता विकर्ता गहनो गुहः व्यवसायो व्यवस्थानः संस्थानस्थानदो ध्रुवः परर्धिः परमस्पष्टस्तुष्टः पुष्टः शुभेक्षणः रामो विरजो मार्गो नेयो नयो नयः वीरः शक्तिमतां श्रेष्ठो धर्मो धर्मविदुत्तमः वैकुण्ठः पुरुषः प्राणः प्राणदः प्रणवः पृथुः हिरण्यगर्भः शत्रुघ्नो व्याप्तो वायुरधोक्षजः. With this shloka, we began yesterday and we very elaborately saw the meaning of the first nama, Vaikuntha, where we had mentioned Vigata Kunthaha Yasmatsaha Vaikuntha, the one who has no obstacles. And then we elaborately dealt with on the three types of obstacles: Adhi Daivika, Adhi Bhautika and Adhyatmika Tapani. These are all things which we are all experiencing day to day. And more often than not, many of us question, why this to me? Why should so many obstacles come to me? If you say Bhagavan is the one who brings in obstacles, now the next meaning we will see on that. Why should Bhagavan create so many obstacles? For what? Then Acharya answers, Vividhaha kuntagatehe pratihatihi vikunthaha. Vikuntaha means the one who creates various forms of obstacles. Various forms of obstacles are called Vikuntaha, and the one who is the cause of obstacles becomes Vaikuntha. So every human being will start, why is Bhagavan such a sadist? Why should he create so much of obstacles and pain and suffering, etc.? The real answer to this is, frankly speaking, Bhagavan does not create. Bhagavan in the sense what? Brahman, the supreme being, does not create anything. It is our own karma phala honestly blessed by Bhagavan in the form of obstacles. Let me repeat. It is our own karma phala blessed by Bhagavan in the form of obstacles. How? Every karma will have a karma phala. And karma phala is the very basis for rebirth. And a human birth is given to us thinking that in the human birth we will use our intellect and grow out of this cycle of rebirth. So many obstacles are given to us not to make us suffer or pain, which happens no doubt, but it is basically to turn our attention, at least during trouble, at least Bhagavan, you take the name of Bhagavan. Otherwise, when we are, isn't it true? When we are very happy, when we are in the joyful moment, when we are in elated moment, how many of us honestly think of Bhagavan? We are so indulged. We are so much into, we are drowned in experiencing, enjoying, embracing, indulging in the whims and fancies of life to that extent we forget everything. Obviously, the first person to be forgotten is God. Why? Samsara bandhana, samsara bhoga draws our mind so much that we are far away from our own true nature, and which is nothing but Bhagavan again. Therefore, Bhagavan blesses the karma phala in the form of suffering, in the form of obstacles. Why? At least then come back to senses and think of Bhagavan. Yasya smarana matrena. Think. Samsara bandhanat janma vimuchyate. When? How? Only through smarana. Smarana of whom? Bhagavan. At the initial stage, it is personified Bhagavan, and when we mature further, we also come to recognize that Nirguna Nirvikara Brahma Tattva, and then the next stage is Ahameva Tadasmi. If that much has to go, then the mind has to be calm. Mind has to be quiet. Mind has to become purified. In the previous shloka we saw Shuddha Swarupa, Shanta Swarupa, Ananda Swarupa. Who? We ourselves. Therefore, suffering and pain from the actual standpoint is a step towards the higher. Therefore, whenever such problems, suffering, pain, etc. come, we must take that as a blessing, we must take that as an indication, we must take that as a pointer for what? Our mind to turn. There are two things which can happen. One is when we recognize whatever we have done, whatever wrong we have done, then you may fall into self-pity. You may fall into self-destruction also. Or you can rise above all of them. When we fall into self-pity, we fall into self-destruction. When we rise above them, we move forward in the path of sadhana to reach the higher. How we take this suffering, how we take these obstacles or rather depends upon how we handle them, how we look at them, how we visualize them. And it is not one type of suffering where we can say, okay, I will ignore that. No. All sufferings, all pain, whatsoever, at whichever period of time, in whichever conditions of time, all are only a blessing. The one who has understood this truth alone will understand suffering, pain, disturbance, frustration, etc. are all stepping stones. Parampuja Gurudev, Swami Chinmayanji says, remember, even this will pass away. Remember, even this will pass away. Meaning what? Good times with reference to the external world will not stay. Bad times with reference to the external world will not stay. Both good and bad with reference to the objective world cannot remain. Agama apayinaha anityaha sarvam. Therefore, whenever problems come, when I take it in the right spirit, accept it properly, and educate myself. How do I educate myself? By understanding that these sufferings are the karma phala of my own previous karma done unintelligently, and now they have come in the form of a blessing, so that I may grow out of such activities. Please note, getting out of such activities can again get into it. Growing out of such activities when I grow out of them permanently for good. It is something like in the school, when I win over the exam, when I succeed in the exam, when I give my paper very well, and then I am promoted to the higher, at any given period of time, there is no demotion. In the path of sadhana, growth is when Bhagavan blesses with good intelligence, knowledge and wisdom. Intelligence, knowledge and wisdom, when it comes to us, that individual mind should not, again I give with a bracket, should not fall back unless I again fall so unintelligently that I again come back to the same status. Think. But in sadhana, Bhagavan's blessing is always moving forward. Therefore, various forms of obstacles are given to us by Bhagavan as a blessing. And therefore, because he gives such blessings, he is called Vaikuntha. So, Bhagavan is one who supplies blessings. And the same Bhagavan removes the blessing. How? So he supplies to educate us, and when we get educated, he removes all the obstacles and pushes us further in the path of sadhana and makes us move forward. Then, in this category, moving forward is there is no physical movement, it is clarity in understanding. What is growth in sadhana? What is success in sadhana is when I become more and more clear in my understanding of one, the samsara, and two, Bhagavan. This ability one gains only because of satsang. And that satsang is blessed by Bhagavan. Binu Hari Kripa Milahina Hi Santa. Therefore, if we have got a guru, Bhagavan has already blessed. We have become a human being, Bhagavan has already blessed. We have understood the actual problem, Bhagavan has already blessed. All we need to do is put in our Purushartha to march forward in gaining the clarity about Bhagavan, clarity about my true nature, and the clarity that Bhagavan and my true nature are one and the same. Therefore, Bhagavan is called. All these are blessed by Bhagavan. Please note, without Bhagavan's blessings, nothing can happen. Tasya vina trinamapi na chalati. Continuing. The next nama, Purushaha, was discussed earlier in the 14th shloka, long back. Acharya Shankara writes, Puri Shayanat Purushaha, the one who lives in the city called body. This body is able to function, this body is able to do all its activities according to Prakriti Dharma. What is it according to Prakriti Dharma? Eyes are able to see, ears are able to hear. They are only transforming gadgets. They will only translating rather. They translate the external world to the internal mind through the gadgets called ears, eyes, etc. These gadgets are able to function because of the presence of Narayana in it. In the form of what? The life principle. This principle, because of which this entity is able to function, is called Purushaha. Therefore, Puri Shayanat Purushaha. Sarvasmat Pura Sadanat Purushaha. Sarvasmat Pura. Pura means right at the beginning. Long ago, or rather, much before all this whole creation existed, Sarvasmat Pura Sadanat Purushaha. Purushaha is the one who was the Sat, who is the existence. Therefore, the one who existed before all is called Purushaha. Another explanation Acharya gives, Sarva Papasya Sadanadva Purushaha. Sadhanath here meaning what? Here the Sadhanath word represents the destruction of Sarva Papa. All the papas what we have done, he destroys. When? It is not that, okay, you have prayed for me, I will destroy all your papas. No, 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 no. Bhagavan is not such a liberal person that way. Bhagavan will say, when you grow out of it, I will destroy the past. Only when you grow out of it. Not just like that I will destroy and you grow. No, 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 no. It doesn't happen. Balastavat krida saktaha, tarunastavat taruni saktaha. Balastavat krida sakta. I was playing with all the toys. When I grow, I drop the toys. Isn't it? This ability to drop is the blessings of Bhagavan. An ability to grow, an ability to graduate. No certificate is involved. Nobody gives us a certificate. If certificate is given, politicians, all of them will purchase everything and then sell it to us. No, 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 no. Bhagavan does not give certificates, but Bhagavan blesses us, and when I grow, he removes the previous past. And when I grow further, again he removes. This removing is removing all the papas. What are papas here? Papas are my karma. He removes all the karma, and for that there is no karma phala later. When I move forward, when I grow, when I gain clarity. Therefore, he is called Purushaha. Sarva papasya sadhanatva Purushaha. Continuing, Pranaha. This is another word which we have already dealt 2 times. However, Acharya clarifies to those people who have not probably attended the previous namas. Pranitaha kshetrajna rupena pranatmana cheshtakatvatva pranaha. Pranitaha kshetrajna rupena, as the kshetrajna, as the enjoyer, experiencer, I, pranatmana, by what? Through prana. As prana, rather, he becomes the pranaha. He has filled this body, which is mere matter, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Jala, Prithvi. Matter is inert and insentient. If I am sentient and I am able to function, it is because of the presence of those pranas, and that prana is nothing but Parabrahma Swarupa Paramatma, otherwise called as Kshetrajna, the life principle. Pranaha. Pranadaha. This is also a very a name which we have dealt with it 2 times, and we will also be seeing it in the 956th as the 956th Nama. Srishtyadau sarva praninam antaryamitaya pranan dadati iti pranitaha. Pranadaha. Daha, the one who gives. Pranadaha, the one who gives prana. Dadati, he gives what? Pranan sarva praninam. He himself is the prana in all the jiva rashis. Antaryamitaya. Antaryamitaya, as the very inner essence, as the very inner presence. Antaryamitaya srishtyadau. From the time Srishti takes place, he is a very antaryami. This word is very, very beautiful. The one who is the very presence, the one who lives, who is the life, and therefore he is called Pranadaha. Dyati khandayati praninam pranan pralayakale. Pralayakale, at the time of resolving. Pralayakale iti va pranadaha. At the time of dissolution. In fact, to call it at the time of destruction may not be a right way of expression, because Bhagavan's destruction is always constructive destruction. Therefore, instead of calling it as destruction, we may call it as resolve. At the time of resolving the entire creation, Bhagavan cuts the prana as though. Dhyati, khandayati, he cuts as though from the body and kills everybody as though. But then we know, we have already dealt with it. Again, at the time of Srishti, all these species come into existence. However, Dhyati khandayati praninam pranan pralayakale itiva pranadaha. He is called as Pranadaha. Pranavaha, the most wonderful nama, the most important nama, and the most uttered nama. Pranava. What is Pranava?
In Kannada there is a problem. Pranavaha it has become. Previous.
No, illiyo. Change பண்ணிட்டா. நிறைய இருக்கு. இல்லை, மூணு தான் இருக்கு. Pranavaha is the most important nama and most powerful nama and the most uttered nama. What is Pranavaha? Pranauti iti Pranavaha, the one who is saluted by all. Very interestingly, we find there are so many Bheda in personified God, the celestial being, so called. Call it Brahma, creator Brahma is very non-controversial, as though. I am adding as though for us to understand properly. Vishnu and Shiva has got so many followers. Shaivites follow Shiva, Vaishnavites follow Vishnu. Both of them know that all are gods. But then we have such differences. Vaishnavites don't want to take Shiva. Shaivites don't want to take Vishnu. All these Bhedas are there in the world created by man. Unintelligent man or probably intelligent man. Whatever we may say. Because the creation of personified God is only to help the human mind grow. As per the constitution of the human mind, every mind has got certain qualities. The three qualities, sattva, rajas, tamas, in various combinations becomes the swabhava of a human being. In me, if it is raja pradhana, then I will be very hyperactive. If I am Sattva Pradhana, then I will be calm and quiet. My very expression will express my Pradhana Guna. What is Pradhana Guna? If Sattva is Pradhana, then I will be a very calm, quiet, collected, composed, etc. If I am a Rajoguna Pradhana, then I will be hyperactive, irresistible action. When it is Tamoguna, we know it is total inertia. With that in mind, when a guna forms the very nature of my life, these gunas, which expresses itself in the form of activities outside, actions outside, represent my swabhava. What is my swabhava? Swabhava is as per my gunas. Swarupa is different, swabhava is different. Swabhava is based on the Triguna, Trigunatmika Maya. Swarupa is one and the same. This Swarupa is Pranava. And all of us surrender to this Swarupa in various forms. Whichever form we may take. Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, Ganapati, Devi, Hanuman, whoever it may be. They are all representations of one and only Swarupa. This one and only Swarupa is non-controversial. It is in that meaning I said controversial and not non-controversial. This Swarupa is represented by Om. We will see further. And Swarupa Lakshana represented by Om is accepted by all. Whichever Pantha you may become, you may be in. Vaishnavites or Shaivites or any other so-called Panthas, all are created by human being. Please let us understand this. All of them accept Om. Therefore, everybody chants Om, whoever he may be. Now see, Om is nothing but Pranava Mantra, it is called. We will deal with that. Om, the Pranava Mantra, is chanted by everybody. And today, it is very interesting to note, even people in the other countries who are into other culture, even they have taken to this Om chanting. That's very, very interesting. And if it is understood well, then the power is more. The power is always eternal, complete. But the transformation in me by chanting Om with understanding is much faster. That's what I mean by saying power is more. It is not that there is power in this Bhagavan, there is not much power in that Bhagavan, like how people talk. That Ganapati there in that particular area is more powerful than Ganapati in this area or AR. How irresponsible can we be? How stupid can we be? I'm sorry for using such words. How can one Bhagavan be different in one place, another Bhagavan as though another Bhagavan? He is not powerful in this place. How can such things be spoken by an intelligent human being? Bhagavan is one and the same everywhere to all. The expression of Bhagavan's blessings are decided by our mind. Please be very, very clear in this. It is my maturity which understands the nature of Bhagavan, And accordingly, Bhagavan's blessings are experienced. Bhagavan is not partial. Bhagavan has given us that opportunity. I have given you full freedom. You draw. It is like, the river flowing. River continuously flows. It is me who have to take benefit of the river water and then equip myself. Hydroelectric power drawn from the river. River never said, okay, I will give you, you take. No. River says, I will flow. This is my nature. If you want, you take. Think. Similarly, Bhagavan's blessings are eternal and equal to all. But how do I derive those blessings? Depends upon my inner maturity. And this inner maturity, please note, is becoming calmer, becoming quieter, having clarity and surrendering at the feet of the Lord. All people who have got wisdom of Bhagavan will only surrender to Bhagavan. This surrendering, how do I surrender? By accepting Bhagavan as the Supreme. Therefore, I sing the glories of Bhagavan. I take the name of Bhagavan. I listen to the leelas of Bhagavan. And I surrender my ahankara, my individuality, my ego at the feet of Bhagavan. All the wise people praise Bhagavan and therefore pranauti iti pranavaha. He is pranava from that standpoint. Now, this is the common simple translation. Now, going a little deeper. Pranavaha is Om. And Omityekaksharam Brahma, says Shruti. Brahma is represented as Eka Aksharam. What is Eka Aksharam? Om. And this Eka Aksharam is a combination, Sangama of what? Akara, Ukara, Makara. A, U, Ma, otherwise written like this in English. A represents Srishti. U represents Sthiti. M represents Laya. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. Karanam, Omkaram. Omkara is the sound syllable which represents the Karana of Akara, Ukara, Makara. We can also give lot of interpretations to this. We can say Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Janana, Jivana, Marana, and then we can also add Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Ityadi. All triputis you can put inside as an interpretation. But the truth is, Akara represents the beginning. Makara represents the resolve. Please note, I say resolve to indicate when anything has begun, it has to end. So the beginning, the end, and also the sthiti. Janana, Jivana, Marana. Beginning, sustenance, and resolve. All these are only with the presence of Bhagavan. And this Bhagavan is represented by Om. Akara, Ukara, Makara. Om iti ekaksharam Brahma. This is told by whom? Bhagavan himself. In the Vedas it is said. Om iti Brahma. Om iti dagam sarvam. Om ityetadανukruti hasmava apyosha vayetyasha vayanti. Om iti samani gayanti. Ityadi, you find these expressions in the Shruti, where Om is represented, or rather representation of the Parabrahma Swarupa, and it is the same Parabrahma Swarupa who is expressing himself as this whole world. Therefore, Pranavaha, Omkara, that is Parabrahma Swarupa, and Omkara is Bhagavan. Here, Omkara is nothing but Mahavishnu. Pranavaha. Pranamantiha vai Vedaha. It is said, even Vedas do namaskaram to Bhagavan in the form of Pranava mantra. And isn't it true? Everything, any mantra, any good auspicious things we do, we start with Om. Even in our class also, we start everything with Om. Annante Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswatye Namaha, Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Om Shuklambaranam Vishnu, Om Shantakaram Bhujagasayanam. Everything starts with Om. Om is also that which is auspiciousness. So anything starts with auspiciousness will definitely continue and end auspiciously. Shanno mitra shamvarunah, Shanno bhavatvaryama, Shanna indro brihaspatihi, Shanno vishnurukramah, Namo brahmane. All these starts with what? Sham. What is Sham? Auspiciousness. What is auspiciousness? Omkara. Therefore, Tasmat Omiti Pranauti. This is how all Jivarashis, all Devataha, all of them praise, sing, glorify that Supreme Being as Omkara, also may be called as Sham. What is that? Auspiciousness. And therefore, he is called Pranavaha. The next nama says Prithuhu. What is Prithuhu? Prapancha Rupena Vistritatvat Prithuhu. Because he has expanded as the very universe. This we have told several times, we have dealt with it several times. The meaning in a different nama probably. The one who has expanded, meaning the all-pervading Paramatma. Because of the all-pervasiveness, Prapancha Rupena Vistritatvat, expanded, he is called as Prithuhu. Hiranyagarbha. What is Hiranyagarbha? Hiranyam Jnanam Garbhe Yasya iti Hiranyagarbha. The one who has Hiranyam means gold. Gold like supreme knowledge. What is this gold like? Gold is a metal which is self-effulgent. Think. That is why gold is extremely costly. Because you don't have to maintain gold. You just have to get gold and that's it. You will shine when you wear. That is why many people wear lot of gold everywhere. And they also want to tell people that I am wearing gold. You can see in many cases when they have some politicians wear all the four fingers. I don't know why they don't wear. If probably given an option, they would wear in the thumb also. But then and then they speak like that. Why? I have got so much of gold. Why this gold is very important is because of its purity, self-effulgence, and it is very, very worthy. Therefore, gold-like. When it comes to Jnanam, gold-like Jnanam meaning what? It represents Swayam Prakasha Rupa Jnanam. And therefore, that Swayam Prakasha Rupa Jnanam can only be Atma Jnanam. All other Jnanam has no Swayam Prakashatva. All objective knowledge are to be given importance. Swayam Prakasha Jnanam is self-effulgent. Therefore, gold-like supreme knowledge within him, because he is that knowledge in fact. These are all words. Sabdajalam, Maharanyam, Chitta, Brahmana Karanam. These are all words used for our unintelligent mind to understand something. Otherwise, he is Swayam Prakasha. He is that self-effulgence. Because we are having 1,000 names, we have to create 1,000 names to create a Sahasranama. All possible factors are used, and here Hiranyagarbha is used, the one who has gold-like self-knowledge in him. Therefore, he is called Hiranyagarbha. And one more meaning of Hiranyagarbha is the representative of the total mind, subtle body. We have Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, Karana Sharira. Sthula Sharira is represented by Virat, and Sukshma Sharira is represented by Hiranyagarbha, and the Karana Sharira is Ishvara. Therefore, Hiranyagarbha, again, Virat, Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara, all are nothing but various expressions of the same truth taking up a particular portfolio. With reference to Sthula Sharira, the same Bhagavan is Virat. With reference to Sukshma Sharira, the same Bhagavan is Hiranyagarbha. With reference to Karana Sharira, the same Bhagavan is Ishvara. Therefore, Hiranyagarbha also means the total mind. Alright. Shatrugna, the one who, the destroyer of enemies. This we will see tomorrow. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.